Hello, everybody. Hello. Good evening, all. My internet speed is not that much proper, so I think so. We may face some difficulties. So just try to understand, dear friends. Many of my friends, my students, they were sending me messages that sir, we have problem related this lesson. Kindly explain the lesson. That's why today I'm here with you to explain the lesson Ubuntu, the African concept of humanity. This lesson it is written by one of the students of Podar International School, and it is from Sangli location. So the boy he is Apurva Rajiv Tarwadkar. So here today we are going to learn this lesson Ubuntu, the African concept of humanity. This lesson is an experience of the boy who uh, came back after spending some years, near about 9 years in the South African country, and he expressed his experience, his souvenir with you all. So that's why this lesson has been included. And we learn so many good things from this lesson. Apart from writing question answers, we learn some values that are very much important to live day-to-day life. So let's begin. Ubuntu, the African concept of humanity. Apurva Rajiv Tarvatkar. Good morning, everyone. Are you ready for the Orator of the Year 2013 competition? Asked the teacher as the first class of the day began. So, as usual, we know that school begin here, and the teacher she asked to the students, she greeted students and said, Orator of the Year. This year, competition in our school that is orator. Orator means skilled speaker. The one who speaks very eloquently on the stage is known as orator. So she said, she announced that this year our school going to have the orator of the year competition 2013. So are you ready? So all the children they chirped together. Yes, ma'am. All the children chirped together. Chirped means said loudly. They shouted loudly to say yes. Ma'am, I'll speak on friendship. Arno said excitedly. One of the students named Arno, he excitedly said, Ma'am, I will speak on friendship. I'll share a scary experience. Beware, said Mira, making a scary face. Okay, another girl from the same class. She said, Madam, I'll share with one experience that is beware. Beware means be cautious, beware. That and she made when she pronounced the word that time she made even her face also scary. Beware. So best of luck everyone, said the teacher. The teacher greeted to everyone and said best of luck. Ma'am, I want to speak on Ubuntu. I want to speak on Ubuntu, said Apurva softly but confidently. The class roared with laughter. What's that? An animal or a thing? Asked one of his classmates sarcastically. So, when Apurva he confidently and softly he said, Madam, I want to speak on Ubuntu, all the class they were not aware about the word Ubuntu. So they said, What's that? It's an animal or what? So sarcastically means mocking manner or teasing manner. And one of his classmates, Apurva's classmate, he said, Is that animal or what? What's that? An animal or a thing? And see, Apuru did not get proper response from his. So, such a funny word. Another friend, such a funny word. Ha ha ha, said Mira as she burst out laughing. What's so funny? It's an African word, said Apuru to her. He was disappointed by the class response to the topic he wanted to speak on, and he was really unhappy. He was very disappointed because he wanted to share with the class such a beautiful topic, but the class did not give the proper response to him. That's why he was disappointed. By then, Apurva had tears in his eyes and he burst out. He started even crying. And when he started crying and class was taking making his fun at the time, teacher she was there in the class and she interrupted. She stopped other boys to comment on him and she said, "Calm down, Apurva," she said, "and all of you try to listen and understand what he has to say before you react in an insensitive way." She said, she scolded the whole class and she consoled Apurva. Bada, you calm down, means just give the things away and be calm, cool. Don't take load, she said. And other hand, she scolded other class, all the boys and girls in that class. So after teachers' interference, the class stopped laughing and the class became very silent. Then Apurva he started his topic. He stated, Africa is not just what we think. It is much more than jungles and wildlife. It has its own wonderful culture, and Africans are loving, caring, and open minded people, Apurva stated. So, Apurva, he said, Africa, generally we think that Africa means, we just come to know in front of us that Africa means river, wildlife, and all the things related. But here, beyond all the things that it has its own wonderful culture and Africans are loving, caring and open-minded people, Apurva stated means he made the statement. I love that place because I have spent 9 beautiful years in a wonderful African country called South Africa. So he said, why I'm talking about that country, because I have spent near about 9 years of my life in that beautiful country known as South Africa. The whole class gasped when Apurva said this. When Apurva he started his speech now, he began to speak about the Africa and his experiences. That time the whole class gasped. GASPED. Gasp means complete awe. Without even blinking eyes, they looked at him and very keenly they started hearing him, listening him. Now I want to share with you a few instances of what I experienced there, he continued. And he said, my friends, I wish to share with you some of the instances of what I experienced there, he continued. He said, whatever the experiences I have gained there, I collected there. So I got the experiences that I want to share with you. Instances means experiences or the things happen with him. Examples of occurrence. Instances means. Now he continued. Now see what happened. Yes, that would be awesome. The whole class responded. Now see, the class it was not ready to listen him. All the students, his friends, they were not ready to listen him. Everyone they sarcastically spoke on him, taunted on him. But now the complete class were eager to listen him. What he speaks more about the Africa, and the class was ready to listen him. When I was 3 years old, my father took up a job in South Africa. He wanted us to join him. My excitements knew no bounds because I was about to go in another country in an airplane. Apurva he says, when I was 3 years old, when he went there, he was just 3 years old. My father took up a job. His father took up a job in South Africa. And his father wished that the whole family must join with him. So he had a job and his father wished that he wanted to take all the family members with him, his mother, his cousin and he, or his brother or sister. He his excitements, he says that my excitements means happiness, excitements, eagerness, knew no bounds happiness knew no bounds. When someone, or for example, your father gives you some surprise, that time you can say, "My father gave me this thing." That time my happiness were no new bounds when he gave this. So I was about to go to another country in an airplane. That's why I was very excited because I am going to attend, even going by the plane. That's why I was very happy, he says. Though South Africa has a multiracial society, my first encounter, especially with my African neighbor, made me nervous as they were quite robust. I feel intimidated just looking at them. And he says again that though South Africa has a multiracial society, multiracial means there are races, creeds, social status, meeting, first meeting, especially with my African neighbors, made me so at them. And they were somehow different physique, different looking. That's why he was very nervous to look at them. And he felt intimidated, means nervous, he felt nervous looking at them. Because the people they look, their appearance was really totally different. And this kind of figures were completely new for this boy, Apuru. That's why he was very intimidated and even he was very sad. Everyone laughed on hearing this, and the class responded by laughing now. But slowly, their friendly and warm behavior 2 years in kindergarten were hectic, as I had to struggle to be on par with the African children with a great physique. I also had a great difficulty in speaking in English with them, especially when it came to understanding their accent. He says that my accent was completely different and their accent was different. So I felt many more difficulties to understand their language. Sometimes their pronunciation, way of pronunciation word, it was completely different and mine was different. So it was a great difficulty for me to communicate with them, he says. Gradually, again he says, just a minute. I'll check my internet. I don't think so. It is. Wait a minute. Okay, we'll see. So gradually I started making friends. Dokozo was my first best friend in South Africa. He introduced me to the true African culture and the proud feeling of being an African. He was loving, confident, and unbiased. He says, Apurva says, my when I started going to school, my first friend, he was Tokozo. It's the name of the boy, Tokozo. Pronunciation is Tokozo. And he became his best friend because the boy, he was very loving, means Tokozo was loving, confident, and unbiased. Unbiased means impartial. The person who never give the basis of the partiality, who never be, is always impartial, is known as biased. One day we were playing soccer. Soccer, we know that, football. On the school ground, when one of our friends was seriously injured, Tokozo took good care of that boy, handled the situation, and thanked him. And he smilingly replied, Ubuntu. So he says how he Apurva understood the word or preoccupied with the word or how he was introduced with the word Ubuntu. He says we were playing on the ground. One of our friends is seriously injured, and my friend took also took good care, and he said thank you. Then my friend Tokozo he said Ubuntu. I returned home with the word ringing in my head. When my father saw that I was preoccupied with this word for a long time, he explained to me that Ubuntu means compassion and humanity. And I came at home with the same word ringing Ubuntu in my mind. I did not know the meaning. I was trying to find it. At that time, my passion and humanity, he said. As time went by, and over a time, I learned the true African culture that we all are the children of Mother Earth. We all are equal. This kind of doctrine from this South African culture. Over a time, he again says that I even over time, I developed the confidence to socialize with all kinds of people and also began believing in Ubuntu like African friends. We are one. And over a time, I became mature. I understood the importance of these kinds of values in our life. I developed. I socialized. Means I became mature and started mingling myself with the society and part of the society. I became mature, and I started believing that we are one. My mother told me that if you open your heart to understand the world around you, you get millions of opportunities to grow. And here he says, everyone's mother teaches us good things. So definitely his mother, she taught him the best thought, we can say. If you boys, this is not only for Apurva, this is for all of us. If we open our heart to understand, of opportunities to grow, millions of opportunities to grow. Dear friends, I returned to India not because I dislike the world. I was hurt to see the discrimination and ignorance in the people's behavior. So when I came back, I was teased as an African because my attire, my somehow looking, it was looking like Africans. I had adapted the even culture, but I did not feel bad. But I felt bad when I see the discrimination and ignorance that's still in our country also. Learn about African culture. From now on, when you think of humanity or togetherness, think of Ubuntu, think of Africa. Here he concludes his face and speech, and he says that, my dear friends, whenever we think about these kinds of things, ignorance and discrimination, that should not be there in our society also. And when we hear about humanity and togetherness, the same word meaning the same that is known to in African world. At this point in his speech, Apurva stopped because he could feel his teachers patting his back. And Apurva here took pause. His teacher, she just patted his back and said, Beta, well done. The whole class burst into thunderous applause. And now the whole class clapped for him. So here, my dear friends, we what we have learned, the the whole world have to accept this kind of philosophy, that is we all are one, no discrimination. uh, we should not be castigate on the basis of our social status or our behavior or even our looking, our appearance. We all are eventually one. This kind of thinking we must develop, and this thought we must adopt from this lesson. So on the basis of this lesson, we have some questions. In a quick glance, I'll show you the questions, and I suggest you all see why I'm sharing with you the answers, because I just expect that you will read the answers, try to write your own answers by just taking the help of these answers. My dear friends, you just read the answers. I am telling you again and again, and every video I request you all to just read the answers. Try to frame your own answers. Don't copy the answers as it is. If you copy the answers as it is, then again in the examination you will face some difficulties while writing the answers. That's why I suggest you all kindly read the answers and then try to write by own in your own word. Then you'll achieve a kind of standard also, and we can say you will it will be helpful you to develop your English. Otherwise you are simply copying, means you are nothing but just a copycat. So these are the textual questions, and here I'll share with you the textual question answers. See, There's a small paragraph, it is given in question number 1 and 2. 4 5 lines are given. On the basis of the paragraph, 4 questions are there. So these are the answers of question A and question B. Simply pause the video, read, or you can even simply take the screen and you can read. Okay, question number 2, answer in questions 30 and 40 words. 30 to 40 words, simple ABC question. Long question, long answer question, 80 to 100 words. And this is just for your kind information reference. I don't suggest you to copy as it is. I am just sharing with you to read the answer so that you can get the clue how to write. Yes, these are the answers, textual question answers. Right? Student specific means you have to write by own. Some student write as it is the answer student specific. Don't do that. And on the basis of this lesson, we'll solve one worksheet. The answers of worksheet also I'll share with you. We don't have time, friends. That's why I'm asking you to just read and yes, you just read it and write by own. Right, as I told you, and write. Last is question number 4. Ubuntu and I. How can I practice Ubuntu in my daily life? Right? Some motivating ways in the box given below. So this should be written by you own. Here today we'll stop here. Today's lesson we are going to conclude here. And again, if you find any difficulty, dear friends, let me know. You can simply comment me. I'll try to connect with you. I hope so you understood. If you have any query, let me know. You comment me. I'll try to solve your problem. And you may be facing some difficulties with the speed because today my internet is running very low. That's why video may be somewhere it may lag. So try to understand. Thank you very much for being with me. Thank you.